Hello, Facebook friends. What is a virus? Anyway, I want to welcome you to the Quarantined Homeschool, coming at you with 28 years of experience, 5 daughters. They are now 25 to 35. And I homeschooled for about 28 glorious years. Yes, I absolutely loved homeschooling. Those were indeed the glorious years. Do you know that a virus is not alive? Coronavirus is not alive. Hit your homeschool kiddos with that one and ask them the question, what is a virus? Make them go find it out before you give them the answer. They may have heard of a YouTube or video going viral or a social media post going viral, and that may be all they know. But they should know what a virus is, and they might find it very interesting with all the current crisis we're in. It's important to make knowledge current. I've got a biology book here, Exploring Creation with Biology. This is a 9th grade biology book that I used for my 5 daughters. It's written by Dr. J. Weil, and a Christian who is also a scientist and taught at Ball Green State University. I'll tell you more about him later and also give you some links to his stuff. But Dr. J says, a virus is a highly organized mixture of chemicals that can perform some pretty specific task, nothing more. And he says it has genetic material inside a protective protein coat, and it cannot reproduce itself. So it does not meet the criteria for life for 2 reasons, according to Dr. J. Number 1, it cannot reproduce itself. And number 2, it cannot take in nutrients on its own and turn it into usable energy. Now, here's a couple of pictures of viruses. This one looks alive, doesn't it? But it's not. This is the HIV virus, but they're really cool looking. And the coronavirus is cool looking. And for your kids that are artsy, or you just need to get some art, get them to do some art, they could draw the coronavirus or other viruses. Now, this is the way it works. Dr. J, and this Dr. J's diagram here. So this virus, this group of chemicals, it attaches itself to the cell or the bacterium. And then it inserts its DNA or RNA, and I'm not sure which the coronavirus has. That would be an interesting thing to have your student look up. And then basically what it does, without going into all the details, it reproduces itself over and over. It makes the cell reproduce it, I guess, itself. It instructs the cell's machinery to assemble the proteins and genetic material. And then these mini viruses are formed inside the cell, and then it explodes. And then you've got all these other viruses, this kind of cluster of chemicals that attacks the other cells. Viruses cause many diseases and afflictions, warts, chickenpox, the common cold, influenza, several forms of cancer, mumps, measles, AIDS, and many other diseases. So, another aspect is there are certain cells that destroy viruses, and there's antibodies that your student can study. And all this is wonderful to look at as far as God's creation, how God designed our bodies in a beautiful way with an immune system to fight off diseases. And then in this chapter, Dr. J goes on to talk about vaccines and the issue, the pros and cons. That's another thing that your child could study. So when I was homeschooling, we did a lot of unit studies. This just memorizing material and regurgitating it on a test is not going to get them very far in life. We need to teach our children to think and reason. We need to teach them a love for knowledge. One of my favorite theologians, Harry Kahn, says Christianity is the thinking man's religion. Moms, dads, take this time to teach your children to think. Let them write a paper on a virus or on the coronavirus and teach them how to write. Writing skills are so lacking in modern students. I would just sit at the computer and critique their papers and tell them how to correct them, challenge them to find ways to correct them. Use a thesaurus, use a grammar book. Like I said, you can do the art and draw the viruses. These models are a great way to do math. You know, that's big in the news now, the models of how many people were going to have the virus in the U.S. and how many were going to die of it. And there's several different models, and there's all the argument about whether the models are right or not. But what is interesting is the math behind the models. And you can have your student look that up and do the math and see that math is useful. Math is meaningful. We need math. And learn with your children. I did not know that a virus was not a form of life until I taught my own kids high school biology. Now, I had biology in high school and in college, but all I did was memorize material to write it down and get a decent grade on the test. I did not have a love for learning or a love for thinking. So let's take this opportunity to homeschool and build in your children a love for knowledge, a love for thinking, and a love for this wonderful world that God has made. And I'm going to put in Dr. J. Weil. He's still writing curriculum for homeschoolers. He's, I think, got a new 7th grade book out. And he's working on a chemistry book now, but he also has good curriculum for grade school. I'm going to put that link in this live. And he has some great science blogs from the Christian point of view. He's really a great thinker of our time. So check out Dr. J. Weil and his material. And happy quarantine homeschooling. God bless everyone.